All these regulations, I'm afraid, by Mr. Praful Khoda Patel are all deleterious to the environment of Lakshadweep. These are all a prescription not for development, but for destruction. Their process has been entirely undemocratic. It has even been accused of being autocratic. Lakshadweep comes under the Home Ministry. The sanction of those regulations lies with the Home Minister. Therefore, if he is given any such assurance, I would consider that is the assurance that is authentic. The administrator is only a senior bureaucrat. In the present case, of course, is a politician appointed to the job, but he's supposed to be joint secretary. I held that post when I was joint secretary in the government of India, and that has been the case since then. So he has really no authority. He's not the final authority. And I do know that, Mr. Patel has been quoted as saying that the people of the island are in a pitiable condition. But he should have pity on them in that case and talk to them and consult them as to how they would like to develop. Now, the problem with the present regulations, coming back to your question, none of them address any issues which are really of consequence to people there. Now, it talks about beef ban, but there are no cows. Cows are not indigenous to Lakshadweep. And if they are keeping cows, I've heard that since my time, they've got some dairy farms there. The dairy farms need to be shut down. Even the question of keeping goats in the islands is very much open to debate because the island territories do not sustain that kind of animal life. And you have to respect that. The question of limiting families. The fertility rate in Lakshadweep is far below the rest of the country. It is 1.4 as against the national average of 2.2. And these are official figures. So the matter concern there is to stabilize the population, not to get rid of it. The question of the acquisition of land, the land development regulations. These are unsustainable and are not only unsustainable, they will be very damaging. Instead of development, they will bring about destruction. Exploration of mineral resources is highly dangerous. Those islands, 32 square kilometers, with a population of 66,000. If you start mining the coral, and admittedly the coral is a very valuable input for the manufacture of cement, is the intention of the government to remove the population of Lakshadweep, make it unlivable, and convert it into cement factories? I don't. There are those suspicions, and those are charges that are made against the government also. So, although the question of a beef ban and things, I don't see how they promote Hindutva, because it's not necessary that for religious purposes you have to consume any beef. Or also the question of bringing vegetarian. I mentioned that I don't see that there's any real harm in ensuring that vegetarian meals are served at lunchtime. But there have been suspicions raised. Why should this matter be taken up? And which I mentioned to you earlier, do they want to get rid of the local population? If they want to get rid of the local population, what could be the reason? Naturally, that leads to the suspicion that there is a Hindutva agenda. We should be just careful about accepting such a charge. But the government of India certainly becomes the duty of the government of India to clarify its position and clarify that this is not an effort to extend this philosophy in an area which is entirely Muslim. It is obviously a demonstration that they know nothing about Lakshadweep, and they pass regulations on issues which do not concern, which are not even applicable to Lakshadweep. For example, a beef ban in an area which has no cows. If you see the website of the Lakshadweep administration, you will find that not a single senior officer, including the collector, belongs to Lakshadweep. The only senior most officers who are from Lakshadweep are only at the level of director. So they would not, any of them, be knowledgeable about Lakshadweep unless they made an effort to actually be knowledgeable. But you have Panchayati Raj established there. That has been established since my time. In fact, it was established in my time even before 73rd and 74th Amendments had been passed. That is the agency which should be consulted. In this case, that agency has not been consulted at all. Their process has been entirely undemocratic. It has even been accused of being autocratic. And I would certainly characterize it as autocratic. A high-level delegation led by no other than Professor M.G.K. Menon, the leading environmentalist, professor of ecology in India at that time. That delegation visited Maldives, specifically with this in mind. They visited Maldives, they went around Maldives, came back with a proposal that was accepted by the island authority that Maldives is the one area on which Lakshadweep development should not be modelled. And there are various reasons for that. For one thing, in the Maldives, in those islands which are specified for tourist development, no other civilians are allowed except those people who are employed in the island. Maldives has banned. If you're planning to model ourselves on the Maldives, then why have we put mining as one of the items that are permissible under the new regulations? Maldives has banned it. Which that Niti Aayog reports have been made by people who are not from Lakshadweep at all and don't even understand it. So they put in the idea of water bungalows, water villas. Now, why do I say it's a stupid idea? Maldives has no monsoon. Lakshadweep has a very violent monsoon. In Kadmat area, where they have set up a diving school, scuba diving school, we say there's no development in Lakshadweep. You have a scuba diving school, which is the diving school for scuba divers all over the country. Now, in Kadmat, they have a scuba diving school. That scuba diving school in the building, which they've constructed on a jetty, which it just gets into the lagoon. They have a wooden cottage, will cost 1 crore rupees each. And are you going to replace them every monsoon? Where are you going to accommodate? You can only have small numbers of tourists. And that is why the tourism plan, as Plan 10 was, as well as mass tourism, you will target Andamans. But for Lakshadweep, you will have high-end, high-cost, limited tourism. And the objective now, in Maldives, one can understand it's an independent country, it needs revenues. Therefore, it would now like to promote tourism in whatever way it can because that is the highest revenue earner. Lakshadweep has no such requirement. Our objective there must be to preserve the environment.
Our COVID ground reports cost us about 7.5 lakh every month. You can help our reporting from the ground. Go to thequint.com, click support the Quint tab, choose a plan and pay.